Have you ever been annoyed that sometimes you're unable to retain what you have learned? You spend hours and days on learning and comprehending an important topic, yet you forget it sometime later. Have you ever wished to absorb lectures and books like a sponge, to easily retain any type of information you wish? Whether you're an academic or not, having strong memory is vitally important. We all need it in our daily lives, studies, skill development, and professional careers. I currently major in international relations. It encompasses history, political science and philosophy, and other social sciences that require lots of memorization. Despite my past issues with brain health and memory, I was able to make quite a progress within the last several years. As one of the students with the highest GPA at this university, I'll share with you the most effortless, the easiest ways to take your brain power and memory to the next level. First of all, many might agree that there is nothing easier than eating. And in fact, you can improve your memory by doing so. Of course, you can't eat anything you want and expect positive change, no. You ought to have specific diet, and there is one particular product I shall emphasize. Harvard Medical School reported a 2015 study conducted by the University of California. In that study, they found out that the consumption of walnuts led to improved memory and better cognitive test results. In fact, walnuts are not only high in protein and other vital minerals like zinc, they are also an excellent source of omega-3, fatty acids that are essential for your cognitive well-being. Furthermore, coincidentally, walnuts' appearance resembles the human brain. God is great. And in addition to this, walnuts result in a reduction of blood pressure and they cleanse arteries, and thus they are good for both heart and brain. And thus, you might want to include them in your diet if you don't have an allergy, of course. The next tip might slightly surprise some of you. It's related to communication. Now, before you ask me how talking can possibly be related to boosting memory, let me refer to one research conducted by the University of Michigan in 2007. In that research, they found out that social interaction positively impacts memory and mental performance. People who socialize with others for just 10 minutes showed significant improvement in terms of memory, and they did better during intellectual tests. Researchers measured participants' working memory and mental processing speed. There was a positive alteration. Just talking to your family members, friends, neighbors, spouses, etc. can positively impact your memory and brain functioning in general in a positive way. And if you are an introverted, antisocial person who is not, however, heedless of one's intellectual or academic performance, it's time for you to make changes and say hey to a person sitting next to you. The final tip, however, will be applicable to any person regardless of whether one is introverted or has an allergy. It's the most obvious yet an extremely significant thing which is neglected by many, unfortunately. According to Cognitive Neuroscience Laboratory in Singapore, getting enough sleep and vice versa has a huge effect on various cognitive domains. The functional imaging studies demonstrated that sleep deprivation has a negative effect on your memory, both short-term and long-term, decision-making, attention, and so on and so forth. In contrast, getting enough sleep positively affected the same cognitive domains. Memory consolidation, as the article mentioned as well, happens during sleep, Memory consolidation is basically when you receive new information, usually it's a new piece of information or experience, and it transforms into a long-lasting memory, which is formally long-term memory. So the next time you decide to stay late at night to study and do assignments instead of sleeping, consider consequences it might result in. Now, let's take some time to recall the tips I have provided today because some of you might have already forgotten them by now. Eating, talking, sleeping. And don't say my memory is good enough because it's never enough. There is always a room for improvement. And don't rely solely on these tips because I said that they are the easiest ones but not the most effective. For instance, you can't eat walnuts and at the same time have no mental activities such as reading books or playing memory games. It's the same as if you consume protein powder or other sports supplements, steroids, and lie on your bed all day watching Netflix and expect muscle growth. No, it doesn't work that way. You'll have to make effort, put the knowledge into practice, and be consistent. As Mark Twain once said, the secret of making progress is to get started. Thanks for attention.